I'm sharing my daily style for winter 2020. Today I call my outfit Chasing My Youth, because now that I have, better products, with technology and social media and the internet and the iPhone but I call this outfit Chasing My Youth. Pretty much, if I had the funds, the tools, the techniques, what I would have worn when I was 16. That would have been like 95, 96. Especially like techniques of like lady stuff, everything. So today I'm wearing, I got this top. I have a tag for it. It's called BP. I think that's the Nordstrom brand, and it says Claudia Sulewski. And this one I got for really cheap. The top I got for I think like less than $20. I'll put it in the description later. And then my pants, they're like high-waisted NYDJ, and I think I paid like maybe $22 on Last Call Neiman Marcus. So I'm going to show it to you. This is like such a flashy top, very fitted. I feel very like Ren Fair, but in 2020, and youthful and less costumey. But for me, I'm gonna need a high rise for these types of like crop tops, because I just need a little bit more coverage, mommy coverage. And then the pants are high waist, and I was gonna put a nice, like my favorite caramel croc belt, but there's something about putting the belt on, I noticed, over high-rise jeans. It seems to like cut off that optical illusion of like elongation. So it kind of defeated the purpose of high-rise for me, and that's why I don't wear a belt. The way it's sewn and put together alone, it has a nice effect that I'm trying to achieve, like that 70s, 80s high-rise, like extra slim look. So I'll show you again. There. Ankle, like skinny. And of course I've got my Doc Martens and just big hoops, because I kind of want that youthful look. And my necklace, I thought they were sold out on off Saks Fifth or something like that. I'll put it in the description. And I paid like $39 or something like that, or sale on sale, even less. But they have it again. It's called Gabi, G-A-B-I. Another word, R-I-E-L-L-E. And it's called Planet Pave Pendant. And it looks like this. And it looks like it's still available again. And it said that for that product in particular, there'll be a delay in shipping, whatever that means. So, because I was worried about, because I'm a little rough and sometimes I break my necklaces, and I do get it repaired at the jewelry store if it's real gold, but I don't know if I'd spend more money on fixing something that's not even like a precious metal, although it's very precious to me, more than, like a gold chain. So something to consider. And my lipstick, I wanted to keep it extra youthful, so in this case I don't mind using a cream lipstick, because it's not so heavy on the dark red tones on the edges, the outline. So I use my Marc Jacobs in Screen Test. It's coming up. It's kind of like a flesh tone. Marc Jacobs. It's called Screen Test. And I put that on the edge, and I go over the border, and I feel comfortable doing so because it's such a nude. And then in the center, I mix my Wet n Wild Megalast catsuit in Oh My Dolly, like $4 or $5, and I mix that with an orange mixer. You can get it in Megalast as well from Wet n Wild, or my Kat Von D. This one's called, it's like Everlasting Matte, and it's called Malice. And I've got a combination of cream and matte, but together it'll last longer. And then to top it off, I used like a sample that came in my Sephora Play, and although it's a cream shadow, it's called Long Wear Cream Shadow Stick in Golden Pink. I can't put it in any of my eye area because it looks good for a hot minute, and then after that it's so thick it cracks and it's unflattering. So I'd rather put it like right here and kind of blend it in with my lipstick, and that kind of adds that extra effect. Okay, now I got lipstick on my hands. Today, and also it is winter, and I'm wearing something a little springy on top, so if I really wanted to add a jacket, I would probably wear my my petite pleather jacket. This one's from Express. I got it used. So if you want like a little bit more coverage, but I want to be 16 today, so this, like, it barely hangs over your shoulders, but you know, it hangs on for dear life, and there's no like grip thing underneath, but it really holds up. And even if it fell over, it wouldn't look terrible, you know? It wouldn't look terrible. But maybe Saturday night, not Saturday morning. All right. So today I wanted to talk about another thing that's very important to me, and it's omnipresent in my life, and more so as I get older. So let's see. So I wanted to talk about the ripple effect, and I'm sure it's called many things in many cultures and religions and beliefs, and I must have got it somewhere from one of those places. But for me, the ripple effect, it reminds me of this documentary I saw from this director. His name is Tom Shadyac. I don't know how to spell his last name, but he had directed like Ace Ventura and maybe The Mask, and I think he like changed the course of his career, and he made a documentary called I Am, I and then A-M. And I saw it on Netflix a couple of years ago. I even bought the movie because I wanted to share it as a gift, and I did with one of my son's teachers. And I bought it, and I was just waiting for the right person to give it to. And he's just such a godsend, and so I gave it to him, and probably a message he already knows. But so he's the son of the founder of the St. Jude's Hospital, I believe. And so anyway, he had made this documentary about positivity and everything that's right in the world. And I can't remember, he had interviewed a lot of people, and I think it was like Bishop Desmond Tutu or somebody he was interviewing, and they were talking about some element or compound or gas in the air that's been circulating since the beginning of Earth, like, I don't know, like pre-Cambrian, Cambrian, I don't know, but but this element that's just been circulating the Earth, and people breathe it in and breathe it out, and it's just been circulating. So I can't remember the name of it, but you'd have to watch the documentary. It only made my life a million times better. So this element, like, which is part of the atmosphere, like, if you think about it, like, the atmosphere has, like, air and this element, I can't recall the name, and, you know, all kinds of other elements, healthy and unhealthy in the air today, but there's this one that's just been around for, well, all of them's been around. But, so I like to think that I'm breathing that element that Muhammad Ali and Gandhi and Florence Nightingale and John Steinbeck and Whitney Houston breathe, and it's just going around and around, and I'm breathing it too, you know? Very possible, why not? So I think of like this ripple effect of things just being constant and it's spreading, and what it means, like, to me. So I have to think of it on a small scale at home, and then how I conduct myself in the outside world, outside the comforts of home. So for me, like, I'm no angel. Like, I try to be good, and like, I understand that everything I do has an effect, and literally a ripple effect with everybody else, and it doesn't stop there, and they take it home, and whether it was being nice or being patient or impatient and unkind, it just kind of scatters the earth like that element and just circles and circles. I mean, is anything really, like, it's just all recycled elements and materials and atoms, I guess, compounds. So there's this one thing that I do that I want to improve upon, which is how I conduct myself when I drive. Although no one can hear what I say in my car, they can clearly see my gestures. They can clearly see how I conduct myself in my car if I'm waiting my turn or waiting to merge. And one of the things I do, that I used to do, and it didn't matter before, but now that I have children, they're listening, is cursing. And I wouldn't call it like road rage. I'd call it like road pissed off, road upset, road irked, road angry. And I used to curse, and they can't hear me, and maybe they can see my like mouth moving and me unhappy, but my son, he started to curse, and he was like, at that time 3, now he's like just turned 5. And so then I realized, you know, I have to change the vocabulary. So I didn't go from like 10 to 0. I thought I would go 10 to 5 and work my way back to civility. And somebody had like cut me off, and I said, look at that guy, he's an idiot. And my son, I turn around, he goes, Mom, he said the full word, he's an effing idiot. So that didn't work. And then I used to say damn it a lot in front of him, and then he started saying it, and then I told him he probably shouldn't, and then he said, well, can I say damage? So then he'd do something and he'd go, damage. But I'm not the best mom, and I could admit that. I'm sloppy, but I try to stay focused, and I try to tell myself, I am not my mistakes. I am not my mistakes. But in terms of mistakes with my son, I don't mind making mistakes, and I don't mind being wrong. And I'll let him know at every opportunity that I'm wrong, even if he didn't catch on because he's young. Because I feel like I'm older than him, and he's younger, and I have more just experience. And I just don't have enough patience sometimes. And I could be really impatient and just yell at him, which I truly regret. It's like one of my mistakes that I'm working on. So he is very bright, like, and because he's so bright, sometimes I forget that he's just a child. And I think my expectations are too high in terms of him understanding what I expect of him, and understanding like how to behave with little toddler feelings, you know? And he says to me, he goes, one day I picked him up from school, and we drove to the library, and we parked, and he was talking about his friend. And he said, Mom, Petra, she's so beautiful. I could cry, Mom. I love her. And I said, you know, my son, he's really mature. And I treated him as such in other ways, in my expectations of him, my level of patience. And now he's got a new friend because Petra's moved on from Montessori. And he says, Anna Cecilia's, I'm going to marry her. But he's like, Mom, but some days she's not nice to me. And this all happens like at recess in the playground, because they're not really like having these kind of conversations during Montessori hours. But he'll say, she's not nice. And I ask her, what's wrong? And Mom, she won't tell me. And he's so frustrated. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? You're frustrated at 4, but she's probably not going to tell you what's wrong at 40. So sometimes I give him too much credit, and then I have high expectations of him, and I'm impatient with him. But what really brings it back is when he has his like Amelia Bedelia moments. The other day he said, Mom, I'm so frustrated. You know, my tia, she cuts hair, and she cut my hair, and she said it was going to grow back. And look at Mom, it's growing forward. He has like a really cute bowl haircut. I love it. And so he was having like a full-on Amelia Bedelia moment, because he couldn't understand why his bangs were growing forward when his tia had told him his hair was going to grow back. So then I have to be like, you know what? Scale it back. You know, he is a bright child, but I got to be like reasonable. And because sometimes I get impatient and I yell at him, and he has this look of fear in his face. I don't know if I could ever fix that. But so I got to work on it like at home with my children. Like everything I say and I do, the lack of patience, time, understanding that he's 4, like full on 4, Amelia Bedelia 4. Even if he's doing addition, even if he's reading at like a 2nd grade level. My dad told me something really important when I was young, because when I was a teenager, I was like trying to appease my friends and anything they wanted, anything to get their approval. But when I got home, I was a jerk to my parents and my brother and my sister, and my dad said, you know how ridiculous you look? You go out there and, you know, you're nice to your friends and you're nice to strangers at your part-time job, but you're such a hypocrite because you come home and the people dearest to you that would do anything for you, you're going to know for the rest of your life, you're not unkind, you're impatient. And literally, I think about that, and I have to take a hard look in the mirror when I'm impatient with my children, but I'm patient with somebody in a line at Costco or the bank. So I have to really remember my dad's words and apply it. And then when I think about like the ripple effect of the world, like I think to myself, like I try in my car especially, but in the world, like everything I say, everything I do, it doesn't stop. It doesn't, like those elements in the atmosphere, they don't just stop circulating. It doesn't stop at the guy that I like hand gestured and cursed in my car. He's gonna take that, and he might be strong, it might not bother him, but it might weigh on him or upset him. And that is gonna go somewhere else and somewhere else and somewhere else. And so I really wanna work on the things I say, the things I do, a smile, a little patience, a little understanding. It's gonna go a long way. And I imagine it circulating the earth, like little ripple by ripple. And just going first full circle, maybe in like 250 years, and then just keeping that positivity alive and just keep going and going and going. Like every positive action, every positive thought under my breath, every smile I give to someone who looks like they could use a smile. Sometimes I just look like a crazy lady smiling at people. Makes them feel uncomfortable, but I'm not going to let that stop me because I just want to be me. So something to think about, like the ripple effect, like what kind of ripples you want to put out there, because although you're not putting it in ink and you're not carving it in a tablet like hieroglyphics or whatever the Babylonians, Mesopotamians used. Although it's not engraved like that element in the atmosphere, it's out there. It's like you can't see it, you can't touch it, but you could feel it, and you could feel it here, and you'd be able to feel it all the way across the globe in China. But it's not nothing, it's something. So, anyway, thank you for watching, and put on your 16-year-old outfit, you know. Enjoy your youth, even in your 40s, because I'll be 41 soon. I'm looking forward to a mini vacay, just full on, just a buffet, a Vegas buffet vacation, like buffet in the morning, buffet in the evening. But anyway, thank you for watching.